So, let's just look at this thing a little bit. I go in and I sit down with a seller. And after I talk about myself a little bit, all right, which we're going to take all of you, going to teach all of you to do that are with us on a regular basis. You got to be able to sell yourself. There's a saying in this business, people buy people. People buy people before they buy whatever company you represent or what you're talking about. If you come to my house and I don't like you, all right, I don't like the way you sound, I don't like the way you talk, am I going to do any business with you? The answer is absolutely not. Absolutely not. All of you probably been in a store somewhere where you went to buy something and you really wanted to buy it and you didn't like the salesperson. And you didn't buy it. So, here we go. You flip the front page, and what's the front page says? It says, why should you choose Culture Estates? You see that? All right. And the dialogue for the front page, there are 3 deciding factors that sell a house. 3 deciding factors that sell a house. Let's talk about them. What are they? The 3 deciding factors that sell a house are the marketing plan. All right? The what? The condition of the house and the price of the house. So to sell your house, I got to show you a marketing plan, and after I've shown you a marketing plan, we're going to talk about the condition of your house, and we're going to talk about pricing. And I'll leave pricing till last. Because you walk in some people's house, they go, you know what they're going to say? What do you think my house is worth? What do you think my house is worth? That's what they're going to say. What's the answer to that? You have an answer? You have an answer? You've got to have an answer to all of these questions that you know you're going to get. You've got to have an answer to. Like what?
To do my research.
What'd you say?
Research.
Danny's heard all this time or two before. I don't know what your house is worth. I'll have to do my research. Okay? Never walk in there and say, well, I think around 300,000 or something like that. No. No. I don't know what your house is worth. I'll have to do my research. All right? So we start with that. Now, if you look at the dialogue on the first page, it says, I'd like to discuss the marketing plan. Before you talk about the condition or the price, you talk about the marketing plan. In other words, you walk in there, this is what I'm going to do for you. This is what I'm going to do for you. We're not going to talk about a lot of other stuff except this is what I'm going to do for you. All right? So where we go with that? It says, we're going to market your home in the following ways. And you flip the page. If you got it, you flip the page and it says marketing tools are designed to get you the best price for your house. What do they always want? What do they always? Best price. Absolutely, best price. Who in here owns a house? You own a house. You own a house. You own a house. You don't care what it's worth, do you?
I'm not selling it right now. So.
But you really don't care what it's worth?
Not at the moment.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Every second of the day.
Every second of the day you care what it's worth.
A lot more I'm selling.
Huh?
Right now.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. I'm serious. That's the thing about real estate. People that own property are always interested in the price. Right? Remember we've talked before about wearing the name tag?
Yes.
For you that have been here, wear the name. No, you weren't here, but I bet you in that bank you wear a name tag, don't you?
Absolutely.
All the time, right? They know who you are. All I got to do is look. You wear the name tag. When you get the name tag, you wear the name tag all the time, everywhere. I kid around with these people that have been here before. I say you put it on your pajamas. All right? You get up in the morning, you take it off your pajamas and put on whatever you're going to wear today. But it stays with you all the time. But you know why? You know why? Because everybody's interested in real estate. Oh, you sell real estate? Yeah. What's my next question? Somebody's been with me before. Do you sell real estate? Yeah, I sell real estate. What's my next question back to you? Come on.
Do you own a home?
See Danny's program, boy, I tell you. Danny can't. Huh? Oh, Danny. No, it's not Danny. Rocco. I said Danny. Yeah, Rocco. Rocco's programmed. He's 18. He's 19 years old. He came here. He looked like he was 15. And guess what we did? Guess what Lewis and I did? He went on an appointment. He came back and he looked like he's 15, and we put a suit on him, and he looks like he's 20. It's amazing. It's amazing. We put a suit and a tie on him. He looks like he's 20. You know, it's amazing. But do you own a home? Yeah. Have you ever thought about selling it? Everybody you know. She told me before, didn't you? I don't care what it's worth. I'm not selling it now. She told me before. So I wouldn't have to say, have you ever thought about selling it? But she told me she didn't care what it's worth, but I know that's not true. Your home is worth $300,000 on the market right now, so you don't care if somebody won't give you more than $200 for it, do you? You see? Yeah, everybody knows about equity, right?
Yeah.
Everybody in New Jersey I've ever met is interested in the equity they have in their home. Do you own a home? Yeah, I do. You ever thought about selling it? What do they say back to you? They'll give you an answer, like she did. What else will they might say? We might sell it. We might sell it in the next year. That's a prospect. Right away, a prospect. All right. How about if you had somebody tell you, yeah, we're thinking about putting it on the market in the spring. Oh, this was January. We're thinking about putting it on the market in the spring.
That's a hot lead.
Huh?
Hot lead.
Sure it is. Sure it is. How about we think we might do it next fall? It's still a lead. It's still a hot lead. But you know what I'm going to try to do with you if you told me next fall? I'm going to try to convince you to put it on in the spring.
Yeah.
If I can. And you know how you do that? You know, what's the one thing, they were with me a few times, what's the one thing that'll always get their ears up, as we say? Money. Absolutely. If I could show you how you might get a little more money in the spring than you would in the fall, would you be interested in talking about that? Would you?
Yes.
Of course you would. Absolutely you would. So, marketing tools. Look at the book. Marketing tools designed to get you the best price for your home. Make sure they look, when you do this, make sure they look at the marketing tools on the next page there. Starts with the internet. Right? Right, Lewis?
Of course.
Starts with, we just
that.
go over each one of them slowly to begin with, and then we flip the pages for them. So you talk about the MLS, you talk about the broker's open house, you talk about advertising, you talk about public open houses, you talk about realtor showings. All of those things are marketing tools. That's what we're going to get done with this thing. So, let's talk about them. Realtors sell homes faster and for more money by attracting serious buyers. All right, this page is in here because we want to get them interested in talking about listing with us. You know what a FSBO is? Okay, everybody in there know what a FSBO is? This page is designed to discourage any idea they have of FSBOing. Okay? What happens to 90% of the buyers? Where do 90% of the people that buy houses go? Huh?
Internet.
Yeah, 90% of them work with a realtor too. 90% of them work with a realtor. Okay, so if you look at the page on page, let's just go to where it is. Over on page 3, it says turn to page 3. Shows that 90% of all homes sold are bought by a buyer who's working with a realtor. Okay? Use the following dialogue. When I say in these handouts, use the following dialogue, that means dialogue. It doesn't mean improvise and all of this kind of stuff. It means dialogue. 90% of all buyers work through a real estate agent, so we must design a plan that not only attracts buyers, but also attracts the real estate agents in the area. Let me show you how this is done. Okay? We're trying to attract buyers. That's what this is all about. For those of you who will be with us, you probably will use this. Some of you want to put it on your computer and we'll use it that way. It doesn't really matter. That's the way we'll do it. All right? Let me show. See the word show you? It's all show. It's never a tell. It's all show. Let me show you how to do that. So you turn to the next page. Pictures and videos of properties. All right, serious buyers check real estate advertising on a regular basis. You see that page? Serious buyers check advertising on a regular basis. All right? And it talks in the dialogue. Use this dialogue. By putting your home on Facebook, we get a lot of exposure. Exposure is a good word. What are we trying to do in a marketing plan? Get what? Exposure. People got to know your house is for sale. We're the ones that are going to let people know your house is for sale. All right? So it says in the dialogue there, by putting your home on Facebook, we get a lot of exposure. Buyers remember much more what they see than what they hear, just like we said. A home shown with pictures and videos will attract buyers more quickly. And then Lewis you can put in whatever number you want to put there. we get approximately how many inquiries a week or a month or whatever by placing listing property on Facebook. So you talk about it. You talk about it because it's all about exposure. At the bottom of the page it says, turn to page 5. Turn to page 5, okay? Is that what it says? Somewhere there? It says turn to page 5. Keep up a little bit. Okay, more buyers shop the internet than any other single source, and there's a picture there showing how many separate websites is their house going to get on? It says 92, right? 92 separate websites. All right, so most of our listings are advertised in local publications also. So we get to local publications. We talk about this, then we talk about local publications, and then but next page is about the 90%. It's there she is. Good morning, Nicole. How are you, honey?
Excellent.
Yeah, I thought you'd be home babysitting today.
I find somebody else.
All right. All right. The next page says 90% or 99 of every 10 buyers buy through a realtor. This is in here a couple of times, and it's primarily in here to kill this FSBO idea. Right? If I'm going to sell my house myself, I got to use a realtor. That's what we're telling you, because you got less than 10% chance. If somebody says, "No, I'm going to try it on my own for a month or two," what are you going to say? Yeah, just that one page. There you go. There you go. All right. 9 out of every 10 buyers buy through a realtor. All right. Well, yeah, that might be true, but I think I'm going to try to sell my house myself for a while. What are you going to do? I'm going to try to sell it myself. Got any dialogue off the top of your head? I know, I got a dialogue off the top of your head. You know, that's not easy to do.
I ask questions.
Yeah.
So tell me how you share with me.
That's exactly right. That's exactly where we're going. That's not easy to do. And here's why. Why? How many signs do you have on your property? You're going to FSBO. We'll just give you a few, because we got to FSBO a whole class on this. How many signs do you have?
1,
One. How many do the real estate companies have?
20,
Hundreds. And they're all interconnected.
1,000.
They're all interconnected, because when somebody calls off one sign, realtors are trained to get them into the office, and they might show them dozens of other houses. But your one sign can only attract people to, your FSBO sign can only attract people to your house. Is that right? Right. I'll give you another one. You know, most buyers buy anything by comparison. Is that correct? You're going to buy anything, you buy it by compare. You go out and compare it, right? What do you have that compares to your house? What do you have to show them that compares to your house?
The house is next to it.
Nothing. You can't get in a house next to it. You got nothing. You got your house. That's all you got. Okay. Here's another one. How many serious buyers have you think you have see your house? You don't know.
Define serious.
Well, yeah, it doesn't matter. They don't know. They come, they see the house. If I'm interested in buying something, I'm going to go say, "Oh, this is wonderful. I love this. I love that. I love that." No, they're not going to say anything. They might be a serious buyer. They might be interested in your house, but you have no way of knowing. Correct? And there's about 10 of those altogether that talk about that. So, 9 out of every 10 buyers buy through an agent. The next page says, serious buyers shop Sunday open houses. You see that page? Serious buyers shop Sunday open houses. What do we say about Sunday open houses? What do we say about it? If we're going to talk about serious buyers coming to an open house, what do we say about it?
We're going to have them.
We're going to have them. We're going to have open houses, right? If we hold open houses, who comes to open houses on Sundays? A lot of different kind of people come to open houses on Sunday, but serious buyers do. Serious buyers come. All right? We got serious buyers. Serious buyers usually have to buy fairly quickly. Is that correct? We got a second category that's they're not quite as serious, because they usually have to sell one house to buy another one. Correct? And then we've got the third kind we sort of categorize as bargain hunters. Bargain hunters go to Sunday open houses. Guess why? They want to save what? They want to save the commission. I go to FSBO because I want to save the commission, right? So I'm going to save the commission. The buyer's going to save the commission. Can't save the same money, can we? And the fourth category is just the lookers. So if we got serious buyers, serious in a hurry buyers, and bargain hunters and lookers, where do you think you'll find at your open house if you've had a FSBO it? You're going to look at bargain hunters and lookers, that sort of thing. Serious buyers are going to go to work through a realtors. But serious buyers shop Sunday open houses. And why do serious buyers shop Sunday open houses? Talk to me about it. Why would I go to a Sunday open house rather than walk in a real estate office? Anybody know? No? Anybody know? No? Okay. I tell you why. Because I can walk in a Sunday open house and I can interview you and decide whether I like you or not, and I don't get trapped in an office with somebody I don't like and all that. I can come and I can go and I can interview you and you never know you're getting interviewed. All right? Let's say that I'm a seller, for example. This is a little off of this track, but let's just say that I'm a seller. And I decide that I'm going to sell my house. What am I going to do? On Sunday, I'm going to maybe go to a few open houses. And what am I going to go to those open houses for? I go for a couple of reasons. One reason is I want to compare that house to mine. Correct? One reason is I want to get a price. What do they want for this one? So what should I ask for mine? Another reason is I want to interview a realtor. The realtors don't even know it. I want to interview a realtor. If I find somebody I like, I might ask them to come look at my house, etc., etc. All right? But sellers, the point being, not only buyers, but sellers also go to open houses. Right? So, there we go. What's the next page of this thing say? In order to sell a house once, we have to sell it twice. Okay, what's that mean? In order to sell a house once, we have to sell it twice. Okay? What's that mean? What do we have if we got to sell it twice? In order to sell it once, we have to sell it twice. This is what that means. What did we say? 90% of all buyers work through a real estate agent? Is that correct? So the first thing we have to do to market your home is to sell it to the other agents. Follow? In order to sell it once, we have to sell it twice. We got to sell it to the other agents, and they in turn have to sell it to their buyers. So how do we sell it to the other agents? We do it through Realtors Open House. We have an open house for realtors. I got a few ideas about open house for realtors that are different. My ideas are a little different. For example, if I want to check a price, let's say I list a house and I want to kind of get an idea of my price. And Christine walks in and she's an experienced realtor from that area and she knows the area and everything. Well, I'll ask her for a business card. And I'll say, right on the back of this business card, what you think this house will sell for. And before long, I got half a dozen or so business cards there with approximate prices on the back of them. Does that make sense? Yeah. Guess what I'm going to do with those? Just figure it out. What am I going to do with? I got a half dozen of those things. What am I going to do with them?
Look at them.
I'm going to look at them. Yeah, of course. What else am I going to do with them?
Average them out.
No, I'm not. I'm going to use those to talk to the seller when we get to the pricing. When we talk about pricing, we've already got it listed. We've already got the price. But somewhere down the line, if it's not sold in 30 days, we're going to sit down. There's a whole class on this. We're going to sit down and we're going to talk about changing the price. You know, our feedback, I'll use an example. Well, 10 people saw your house last month and our feedback says all of them didn't like the kitchen, said the kitchen was too small. Some of you people that haven't been with me before, tell me how I can make the kitchen bigger. How can I make the kitchen bigger? Everybody says knock out a wall, do this, do that, do the other. No. Reduce the price, absolutely. Every time you reduce the price, kitchen gets bigger. Automatically. You reduce the price, kitchen gets bigger. So in order to sell it once, we have to sell it twice. So you got to talk to them about that. Find the dialogue page and be able to talk to them about that. What does the next one say? Staging. Key. We know what buyers are looking for. Gosh, it's about 120 degrees in here, isn't it?
Because I pulled the door because they were so noisy.
Yeah, okay.
I'll open it for you.
It's somewhere, yeah, it's somewhere around 120 in here, I know. Right?
The deep rises just there.
I know, I'm going to be stripping down here in a minute, I think. Okay, we know what buyers are looking for. How do we know what buyers are looking for? We're realtors. How do we know what buyers are looking for?
Because we know what we would look for.
Yeah, but
Because we work with the clients.
because we work with a lot of buyers. We work with a lot of buyers, and we know what buyers are looking for. All right? When we go through your house here in a little bit, we're going to talk about staging. We're going to talk about what we need to do to get buyers, to get things buyers will like to see. All right? Follow? There's dialogue in there for that. Staging. What I used to do, one of the things I used to do, and we can start doing that here, maybe if I talk to Lewis about it. If you list a house, you say, well, I've got a couple other people from my office that know what buyers are looking for. How about if I bring one or two of them over here with you and with me, and we'll see how we can make this thing look a little better for the buyers, right? Might be three of us come rather than just one. We know what buyers are looking for, as opposed to I know what buyers are looking for. You might do it that way. But staging's important. You talk about that right off the top. We're going through this little booklet. Okay. How about all of our buyers are pre-approved for mortgage? All of our buyers are pre-approved. This is the page about the mortgage reps. All of our buyers are pre-approved. The banker over there can tell me what we mean, the difference between pre-qualified and pre-approved, I'm sure. Right? All of our buyers are pre-approved for a mortgage. And then you can always toss questions in with this thing. You wouldn't want somebody to be interested in your house that wasn't qualified to buy it, would you? No, of course not. So, what's the benefit here? What's the benefit here? All of our buyers are pre-approved. Now, for those of you that are new, this goes back to the beginning of time with us. Nicole can remember this. All right? SBC. Remember that? Don't remember that. I can tell because she's looking at the seal. Okay, SBC stands for Service Benefit Check. Here's what we check or close, either one. Service benefit close. See, we don't sell houses. Y'all think we sell houses, but you don't sell houses. You only own one. You sell that, you're out of business, right? So what do? Service. That's all we do in this business is provide services for people. Is that correct? Name me a couple services that real estate we provide, for example. Name me a couple of things that we provide. What do we do? What do we do for buyers? We find houses for them. Easy enough. That's the service, right? What's the benefit to them? We can find the house they want. They don't have to go looking for it. Is that correct? How do you feel about that? Check. Follow? Service, benefit, check. Service, pre-approved buyers. Benefit, buyers are qualified to buy your house. They already got the money. It's like having pre-approved. It's like having a credit card to buy a house. All right? You want a pre-approved buyer, don't you? Sure. Check. Easy enough. There's little tricks in this game, and I got so many different people in here. It's hard to follow. Little tricks in this game that you learn to use. The check question is one of them. I'll give you another, for example, of a little tricky thing. Okay, could I ask you a question?
Sure.
You know what's going to happen when I say, could I ask you a question? You're going to answer the question I ask you. You are going to answer the question I ask you. Right? Could I ask you a question? Yeah, sure. You want to sell your house?
Yes.
Okay. But you're going to answer the question. Right? That's a little trick. A little trick to know. Obvious say yes questions. You know how to ask a say yes question? Instruct them to say yes. You want to get the most money you can for your house, don't you? Sure you do. Say yes.
You want me to say yes?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I already said it for you. See? I said it for you. You want to get the most money you can for your house? Say yes. If you don't say it right away, I'm going to say yes. Follow? Okay. It's little tricky dialogue stuff, and you stick with me long enough, you learn 25 or 30 of those at least. Okay. How about if we got to a page where we talk, let's back up just a little bit to the page about open houses. Let's go back to the page about Serious Buyers Shop Sunday open houses. You see that page? If I were doing this, I would have my calendar with me when I talked about that page, right? And I'd probably throw a trial close in there. You know, we could hold the first open house next Sunday, or we could do it 2 weeks from now. Which one would you rather do? They look and say, well, we can't do it next Sunday, but we could do it 2 weeks from now. What do you do with this thing after when they say that? Close it. Done. What do you have with you when you go on a listing appointment? What do you have with you?
Listing agreement.
Listing paperwork all filled out already. Don't go on a listing appointment without listing paperwork done. I can't get your house on the market today. I got to go back to the office and get some paperwork for you. You can't do that. You
So I have
can't.
a question for you.
Yes, dear.
So you say, when it comes to pricing, you say, I don't know what your home is worth. I have to do my research.
Yep. No, I don't say I don't know what your home is worth. I just say I haven't done my research yet.
So how do you bring your listing paperwork? How do you get the listing?
I don't have a price on the listing paperwork. I've got it all filled out, but I don't have a price on it.
So you just get them?
Sure. Would I take a $300,000, let's say I got a $300,000 house I'm looking at. The guy tells me he wants $375,000. It's a nice house. He wants $375,000. Would I take that listing? Absolutely. Just remember this, when you go on listing appointments, you get hung up on the price. Can you reduce the price if you don't have the listing? Huh? No. Of course not. Can you reduce the price if you don't have a listing? No, you can't. You got to have the listing first. This is a listing business. This little company that's growing and growing here, we're a listing company. Do you think all these people here just come here on Sundays and ride around with a buyer? No. They try to list properties. How long is a buyer your buyer? Till he gets out of your car. Till he gets out of your car. He's your buyer till he gets out of your car. Once he comes out here, you pull back in here after you spent a whole day showing him houses. You want to come in here and talk about that? He gets in his car and leaves. He does the parking lot escape on you. Okay? So he's not your buyer. He's anybody's buyer. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. So let's get near the end of this thing again. All right, I want to talk about something here just a second. I had 2 grandchildren with me from Thursday night until this morning, and the 7-year-old and the 4-year-old. And I'm not sharp today, I'll tell you that. Jeez. Huh? Man, I know, but you know one good thing about it? I put them in the car this morning and sent them back to Virginia, and I won't see them for another couple of months, which is good. I played more games with a 7-year-old this weekend. I played till,
And you have mercy on us every Monday.
Oh my God. Boy and a girl.
Oh,
Yeah, boy and a girl. I tell everybody about when you talk about kids. That's one thing on a listing appointment you can talk about. On your own little personal resume. Because see, all this stuff means nothing if they don't like you professionally. If they come in the bank, they don't like you. You ain't done with them, are you? But one of the things you can talk about is family, right? I talk about my family a lot. I got grown kids and a half a dozen grandkids. I talk about my family a lot. 5 kids, right?
No.
You're the wrong one. How many children do you have?
4.
4 kids. All right. Well, did we talk about children last week? Yeah, we did. I know. Okay, 4. All right. People like to talk about their family. Like to talk about their kids. Those that got kids like to talk about their kids. Hey, yeah, I got one. I got several. I got a couple in Florida. One of them 6'7", weighs 260 pounds, and turned down a football scholarship to Oklahoma. Okay? Because guess what? He didn't want to play college football. Okay, Jack, you don't want to play, you don't want to play. And he didn't have to play because he had damn near 1,600 on his college boards. He didn't have to play. But, you talk about that. You talk about kids. You can talk about anything. They got to like you. We're going to get into that in just a few minutes. They got to like you. Okay, all of our buyers are pre-approved. Now, that is a little synopsis of everything we can do. Everything we can do for you. Those of you who go on listing appointments that have no clue really what you're doing yet. Right? Right, Anna?
right.
No clue, right?
No clue.
But guess what? If I were you, I'd check one of these books out before I went. And you and Sophie can learn this stuff. And guess what? You can show them a marketing plan, and a show is always better than a tell. All right? Easy enough. Last page, what's it say? May we get your home on the market, the house on the market today? That's just in, you know what that's in there for? Make sure you close. Make sure you close. May we get your house on the market today? All right, what are they going to say? If you got that far and somebody said, you said somebody, may I get your house on the market today, what do you think they might say back to you? Someone's going to say yes, if you're good enough. If you're good enough.
I want to
Let's
think
see.
about it.
I want to think about it. You want that translated?
No.
Huh? I'll translate it. I want to think about it. What they really said is, we've seen your dog and pony show, but I'm going to call in some others. Okay? That's what they said. When they said, I want to think about it. What are you going to say when they say, I want to think about it? Say something like this. Perhaps I've missed something. What does you feel like you want to think about? Try that. Try that. All right? Okay. What else would they say to you? We're going to sell it on our own. We're going to list with the big company. This is one thing I've talked about in here, and I've thought a lot about this. If you went on a listing appointment, and they told you at the end, well, we're talking to the big companies, like at Caldwell Banker or whatever, we're probably going to list with one of them. Is there a counter for that?
Yeah.
What? Talk to me.
The bigger companies have a ton of listings, so the time that they spend on your actual listing is minimal because they have to balance their time. Where a smaller company I have less listings, so I'm dedicated more towards your listing.
And you can use it and make it a personal thing. If you're new and don't have any listings, you can make it a personal thing. I don't have any, If somebody asks you if you got any listings, what are you going to say to them? You going to lie to them? No, I don't have any listings. You'll be my first listing, and I can spend all of my time marketing your home. Joe Smith's he called Joe Smith in here from Caldwell Banker. He's got 15 listings. You're going to get 1/15 of his time. Right? Emphasize that. Another thing you can emphasize about this company is the technical stuff that we do here.
Yeah, I don't know if it's your listing presentation, but the one I used last had our social media presence. And that spoke volumes to me because Culture Estate was above some other names.
Oh yeah.
It's in the listing presentation.
Yeah.
Like there's
Culture. Well, it's right in here. It's right back in the beginning where it says we're on when it talks about internet. It says we're on 90-some internet sites.
That's what you just passed it. You just put your thumb on it. Isn't that the one that shows our
That's
top?
the boost.
It's one like this. It's one like this.
Yeah, that's it.
There's another one. No, it's not.
All right.
It's the one that.
But anyway,
I know what you're talking about.
point being, you got to learn how to do the presentation. Now, for new people, how many? We're going to shut the door again, I think. Just shut the door, huh? Thank you. For those of you that don't know me that well, I've done this before. Training stuff I've done before. I worked for Wickert for a long time. I designed a training program, a field training program for Wickert. I used to train, anywhere from 60 to 90 people a month. All right. So funny. Used to meet them. First day, meet them. Don't let them in the classroom. Meet them at the door. Open the door at 9 o'clock. They're lined up 90 deep standing there. Meet and greet. Everything's a meet and greet. All right. Get that fish handshake and their eyes on the floor. And I'm thinking, what the hell is he doing in here? And that sort of thing. And then I go into the class and I say, well, she looks like she might be able to do it, and she might be able to do it, and what's this one doing here? And so I used to do that. Used to do that every month. You train 60, 90 people a month. You learn what it's all about. This is a business, people. This is a tough business. This is a tough business. This is not selling hot dogs. Right? This is a tough business. You got to be active in the business. You've got to do the training classes. You've got to do the dialogues, that sort of thing. So, with that in mind, that's all there is with this little thing. Some of the people, Lewis and I talked, some of the people said they want to put this on their computer and do it that way. That's fine. Or you can check it out up front. There's 4 copies. And if they use it, we're putting it out here on a trial basis. If I give one to Lim, for example, and Lim goes on listing appointments a lot, and she comes back from listing appointments and said, this helped me get a listing, this helped me get a listing, this thing did, guess what? There'll be more of these things out there. There'll be more of them out there. We put them out here on a trial basis, is all. I do everything that way. I'm not going to throw something out here and say, do this. because you got to develop your own thing. Okay? All right. Everybody got the little handout that says personal resume plan. Okay. You notice it says people will buy people, right? People will buy people before they buy this company. Easy enough? So, somebody, let's just say, we're going to role play it too in a little bit, but let's just say here's the deal. You've got your first listing appointment. This is your first listing appointment. Have you had a listing appointment before?
Not here.
No.
This is actually my second day.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I think he's new. You had a listing appointment?
Yes.
Have you? What'd you do?
What do you mean what I do?
Oh, what'd you do? I got a listing appointment. Talk to us.
The funny thing is, I got a listing appointment the way you said, by having an open house, and the sellers came in, interviewed without even knowing.
That's right. I'm thinking of selling my house. I wonder where I can find to sell it.
So when we got a call, we thought they were interested in the house, but they were actually interested in us listing it. So
There you go.
got the listing appointment, went in, tried to
Tell me from the very beginning. Knock, knock. You're at their front door. Just tell me from the very beginning.
knock at the front door. I'm trying to remember this a couple months ago. They walked in. I walked in with my partner,
All right.
and the first thing we did was put our things down in the kitchen, and then we asked them, can we take a couple minutes to view the place before we sit down and talk about anything?
That's
And,
backwards, but that's all right.
Yeah, well, we wanted to view the place, and they tried to show us the house, but we kind of had it where we were in front, so we can see the house from a different aspect. Of, then after we viewed the house, then we sat down and talked, and we went over who we were personally, and then who we were as a company.
But did you show them anything?
Yeah, I had a PowerPoint presentation. As far as
PowerPoint presentation. Okay.
didn't go through all the slides because it was more conversational than.
Well, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be more conversational. All right. So somebody tell me. Knock, knock. I'm selling my house, and I told you to come over and take a look. Somebody talk to me. Anna, talk to me. I'm selling. Here I am. I got a house. I'm going to sell it. And I talked to you somewhere, and I said, yeah, come over and take a look. And knock, knock, you showed up, so let's go.
You putting me on the spot?
I sure am,
I've been
honey.
on the listing appointment.
Well, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What do you?
The way she did it, where you
What do you?
the house first, but you said that.
Yeah, I said that's backwards. Yeah.
Why? Wouldn't you think that the person who's selling their house wants you to see their house before you start talking to them?
Huh?
From a person who's.
All right, here you go. If they want to show you the house first, show them the house first. But while you show them the house, demonstrate some knowledge of houses. We had a class in here, had a guy in here named Scott Valentine. You remember the class?
Scotty.
Remember the class? Huh? I said, tell me about the different styles of houses. He couldn't name one. He could not name a house style. Remember that?
No,
You weren't there. It was earlier. It was earlier. But if I said, I'm thinking, here this guy's coming and he wants to be interviewed to sell my house, and he don't even know what that kind of house I got. All right? So if you're going to show, while you're showing, we'll talk about looking at the house. We'll talk about that before we talk about anything. When you look at the house, demonstrate some knowledge of houses. You got to look at the house, you got to demonstrate some knowledge of houses. For example, what kind of house are you in? What style of house are you in? Is it Cape? Split level? Center hall colonial? Bi-level? What is it? Better know.
Before you go to the house.
Oh, absolutely. You should know all of them. I'll give Scott Valentine credit. About 2 weeks later, he came back in here and he named me a lot of things about just about every style of house. Because he did some research. Again, research. All right, so what are you going to do when you look at the house? Well, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to say I know what buyers are looking for. I know what buyers are looking for. And we'll talk about this room and that room, and we'll talk about paint. All right, we'll talk about size of rooms. We'll talk about they don't like wallpaper, if that's what it is. But you got to demonstrate some knowledge. You can't walk around in there and say, right, Lewis?
Can't do that.
Can't do that. Absolutely can't. Because guess what? You're getting interviewed for a job. You're getting interviewed for a job. Like and and whom and all those words are not in the vocabulary. All right? You're getting interviewed. So while you're showing the house, or while you're looking at the house, make sure that you demonstrate some knowledge of real estate. I used to do it with talk about styles of houses. Oh gosh, you got a Center Hall Colonial. Tell me something about Center Hall Colonials. Anybody in here? Anybody in here? Tell me something about Center Hall Colonials. Come on, Anna.
I know what you know, what you've told me,
Why? What did I tell you?
that it was built to keep the heat.
Absolutely. Center Hall Colonials were designed before they had any kind of a heating system. You could keep the hall cold, and this room over here was heated by a stove, and this one over here by a fireplace, and blah, blah, blah. And that's the reason they built Center Hall Colonials. Isn't that interesting? People still like Center Hall Colonials. Did you get the listing, the appointment y'all been on? Harry?
Yeah, yes.
You got the listing?
Which one?
The one you just went on.
We're getting that today. We're actually going to get 3 properties from her.
Okay, good. Good. Worth the trip, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Time is money.
Time is money. All right. So while you're looking at the house, you got to demonstrate a little knowledge of houses because it's a job interview. Easy enough? Me, I wouldn't do it that way. You do it however you want to do it, but I wouldn't do it that way. I'd walk in and say, I'd probably glance around and say, nice house. Nice house. And then I'd probably say, I'm sure you'd like to get the most money you can for it, wouldn't you? Huh? What are they going to say?
Yes.
Well, of course they are. I'm sure you'd like to get the most money you can for your house, wouldn't you? They're going to say, no, I don't care what we get for it. Not hardly. All right, and that leads to what? I'm sure you'd like to get the most money you can for it leads to where? The marketing plan. The marketing plan, this thing, or putting it on your computer, or however you're doing it. Let me show you how we are going to get the most money we can for your house. Are they interested in seeing that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Right away. You've gotten their interest. All you had to do was say, I'm sure you'd like to get the most money you can for your house. Yeah, of course. Okay, well, let me show you how we're going to get you the most money we can for your house. Right away, you got their interest. And then you go through this thing that we went through a while ago. Or put it on your computer and you go through it that way. But you got to have a show. You got to have a show. Some kind of a show. Easy enough? And you got to build it with a dialogue. You cannot wing stuff. That's the reason every one of these things got that little thing in there where it says, this is a dialogue, say this. What I want you to do with that is learn it. I want you to learn it. Absolutely. I coached football for 30 years. Do you think I let kids do what they wanted to do? No. Do you think plays were designed for them to do whatever they felt like doing and improvising? No. I think it was about the 5th, 6th year as a head football coach, we ran the perfect play. 11 guys did everything correctly. I have a picture of it at home. I have a picture of it at home. This guy's blocking him, this guy's blocking him, this ball carrier's doing this quarterback's handing off, making a fake, blah, blah, blah. The perfect play. All football coaches are looking for is the perfect play. That's what they're looking for. How many of you watched the ball game last night, saw the last play of the game last night? The Pittsburgh game. Last play of the game. Perfect play. Anybody? None of y'all watch football game?
I
Huh?
listened to it on the radio.
Yeah, okay, well this is what happened. This is what happened. Pittsburgh was ahead and there was 1 second to go in the game. And the other team threw a pass. And it wasn't a long pass. It was a designed pass to get their best receiver open. He caught the ball. He ran 60 yards for a touchdown. Pittsburgh lost. At Pittsburgh, for example. Perfect play. So how do you get perfect play? How do you translate this into the perfect play when you go on a listing presentation? You know the dialogues. It's a job interview. You demonstrate some knowledge of real estate. Okay? So, look at the handout about your personal resume plan. Have a resume. Now, 3 or 4 of you were in here last week, and you 3 or 4 came back here and said, I got it. Right? Didn't you, Rocco? You got your resume right there, right?
Yes, sir.
Don't you?
Yes, sir.
So you can walk up here and tell people about it and get them to like you enough to let you maybe list their house, right? Get up here.
Rocco.
Get up here. Get up here. This is Rocco. For you people that don't know Rocco, Rocco's 19 years old. He's fresh out of high school, right? Lewis and I got him in a suit about a month ago and transformed his life, right?
22.
Huh?
22.
Yeah, he automatically. You know how the kitchen gets bigger? He put that suit on and he got older. He put that suit on and he got older, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You get to yes, sir, and a no, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Love it.
Can you move that chair?
Love it. Hey, are you going to say like? Are you going to say like?
No, you told me not to.
I told you couldn't say like, and you can't say You cannot say like, you cannot say Tell us who you are.
So, my name is Rocco Ferrantino. I grew up in Colonia, and up there.
Keep on going. Huh? That's all right. Keep on. Just keep. Hey, I might take a water break or something.
So, I may look young, but to some agents who may want to list your property, it could just be another paycheck or another house for them. And you got to think they could have 12 listings that they're going to have to dedicate their time to. And if I just have yours, I'm dedicating all my time to you. So I've been in the business, seems like forever, but I've been in it for about 6 months. But with my marketing techniques and what we will do to sell your property will get you the most money for your home. And yeah, I'm a hard-working kid.
Don't say kid.
God.
We put a suit on you.
Professional. Yeah.
We put a suit on you.
He's just nervous, that's all.
Well, now, it's harder to do to stand up there and do it like that than it is to do it to a seller.
Great job.
Yeah.
Young man.
It's harder to do that way. But all you got to do, any of you got to do is smooth that sort of stuff out. Remember, if you look at this handout, it tells you sort of what to build it around in there as we go. You know, you can talk about a lot of things. Where were you born? What'd you do during your youth? What'd you do during your youth?
Well, aren't I still in my youth?
Yeah, you are. It's hard. It's hard. We have to ask Harry. You have to ask your partner over there what he did in his youth. All right, what'd you do? Did you go to school?
I did. I went to Columbia High School. Played varsity baseball for 4 years.
Okay.
Played,
Like baseball?
I do play baseball. I like baseball.
Yeah. Good. Gives us something. I like baseball. If he were coming to my house, we'd probably talk about baseball for a half hour or so. All right. I went to college on a baseball scholarship. Really did. I didn't have any money to go, and the guy asked me to go to college on a baseball scholarship. I said, sure. I got offered a chance to sign with the Washington Senators. They want to pay me $85 a month. All right? I don't think so. But we can have something to talk about. All this is about is try to build some rapport to get them to like you. Sit down. Can you talk about your kids? You got 3 kids, right? 3 girls? Twin daughters.
Talk about my dog.
Well, you can talk about your dog, but I don't.
People love animals.
Oh, sure they do. Sure they do.
You know,
But- Yeah.
back in 2001, I worked at Verizon Wireless here.
Uh-huh.
Part-time job. What I learned is there was a sales rep. I worked at as a cashier when you checked out. But the sales rep, he always had behind his badge, he had a picture of his daughter, and that's how he sold. I'd always see him flipping his badge, his kid to everybody, and they bought from him. And he was the highest producer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, humanize the experience.
Absolutely. You can talk about your kids. He can talk about his girls. I can talk about my 2 girls and a boy. You got kids? One. Girl, boy. Boy. Little, big? Big.
Grown.
Grown. Oh, me. Well, she must have got married when she was 13 or something, right? All right? But talk about your family. Absolutely. Anything to make them like you before you ever start talking about this is how we're going to sell your house. Right, Lewis? Anything. I don't like you. I don't care what you got in this damn thing. I don't care. I don't like you. Boom. Easy enough. What else does it say down here?
Tom, before you go,
Yes, sir.
what if you have a hard time connecting? You can't find anything to connect on.
If you can't find anything to connect on,
Run.
no. No, I would turn it into strictly a business
Turn
appointment.
aggressive.
I would turn it into strictly a business
Find
appointment.
their
I've
motivator.
felt that there's been people that when you try to connect with them, they kind of like
Back away, some of them. Yeah.
block you and go to a
Fuck
different.
it. Yeah. Well, if I were doing it,
They don't want to let you in. They don't want to like open up.
I just want to know what you're going to do for me. That's what they're telling you.
Something like that.
So yeah, something like that. So you tell them. I just skip all that other stuff and you tell them, right? Let me show you how we're going to get you the most money we can for your house. You're interested in getting the most money you can for your house, aren't you?
Because you're kind of committing like the worst thing you can if you keep going with the small talk. And
Oh yeah, and that turns them off. If it turns them off, you got to know when to change.
You know what? Rocco and I had a listing appointment. I actually closed my laptop and just got straight to the business what I provided, summed it up in 1 minute. That's what he wanted to hear, right, Rock?
Yeah.
He wanted to know what you're going to get for him, right?
Yeah.
What did we say?
When, right?
Yeah, you got to know when.
You gotta know when.
Yeah. What did we say a while ago? Service benefit. Service benefit. This is what we'll do, and this is how you benefit. Learn to use those words. You can use the word benefit in the banking business.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Learn to use the word benefit.
We use FAB too.
Huh?
FAB. Features and benefits.
Features. Oh yeah. Okay. But learn to use the word benefit. Got to over and over and over and over, because we don't sell houses. We sell services, and they benefit from our services.
Yeah,
Easy.
identify the need.
Oh, sure you do. Sure you do. And if you're going on a listing appointment, you know the need is you're going to try to get them to sell their house, right? Okay. What else? Anything else? Anything else? This is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to do. Lewis and I had this talk a while ago. We got to get you people to practice. We got to get you people to practice. This is a deal where you got to practice. We had 2 guys walk up here today. They practiced a little bit since last week, right, Hugo?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Walked up here and sold themselves and did a fairly good job of it, right? Somebody that hadn't practiced, I don't know if you hadn't practiced this since last week, you couldn't do that. If you did, you could walk up here and do the same thing. Easy enough. It's practice, people. Practice, practice, practice. Like I told you, 30 years coaching football. Do it right. Do it over and over and over again. How many of you can ride a bicycle? Remember the question? How many of you can ride a bicycle? Everybody, probably. How about the first time you got on a bicycle? Could you ride it real well?
No.
No. How did you learn to ride it real well? Huh?
By falling.
By getting on it and falling off. I started riding horses when I was 3. I had a big pony. I fell off of her, and one good thing about her, she'd stand there. I fall off, she'd stand there and wait for me. She wouldn't run off, she'd stand there and wait for me. By the time I was about 12, I was showing horses and showing some high-priced horses. Okay? Because guess what? I practiced, and I practiced, and I practiced, and I practiced. Easy enough. All right. I didn't do good today, Coach.
Why is that?
I had 2 grandchildren for 4 days, and they left this morning, and I'm so tired I can almost keep my eyes.
Oh, don't worry about that.
I can